Good evening to all. On behalf of Government SPMR College of Commerce, Jammu, and Cape Comorin Trust, Tamil Nadu, India, I, Dr. Deepak Patania, Assistant Professor, Government SPMR College of Commerce, Jammu, welcome you all on the seventh and last day of the one-week International Virtual Faculty Development Program on research methods, tools, and techniques for multidisciplinary research design. Indeed, this has been a beautiful journey leading to knowledge and wisdom. I extend my warm welcome to Dr. Surinder Kumar, Principal, Government SPM College of Commerce, Dr. Pooja, Coordinator of R&D Cell, Government SPM College of Commerce, who is also the convener of the ongoing FDP, and our partner members from Cape Comorin Trust, India. I also welcome our resource persons for today's sessions, Dr. Eliza Durg Aryan and Dr. Sheetal M. Randhir. Before proceeding further, I would like to inform you all that today the two sessions will be followed by a short valedictory function, and all of you are requested to attend the same. Now, let me invite Dr. Eliza Durg Aryan for first session of the evening, and she is going to speak on thesis writing. Dr. Eliza is an ESL, EFL, ESP trainer, teacher trainer, and global educator. She is author of many scientific articles in the field of teaching English as a second language. She is also working as a volunteer in different international projects and companies such as Edomania, Alto University, etc. She is also serving in lifelong education program at American University in Armenia. Ma'am, it is an honor for us all to have you with us today, and we look forward to learn from your vast experience and expertise. Over to you, ma'am. Kindly proceed.
Okay, good evening, good afternoon, maybe. For me, good afternoon, for good evening for you. Thank you really for the invitation, and also I'm honored to be here and to represent, to share, let's say, my skills and knowledge of this in this field, because I think it's a very important thing, especially for the ones who really want to continue to have, like, to say, a lifelong education, because when you get your BA, you are just focusing or concentrating or getting the qualification or a profession or maybe a diploma in order to be able to find a good job for you. This is like, let's say, the first step when you go and continue your and try to find your place in a scientific field. The second point comes when you, after graduating your BA and working and having a little bit, just getting your experience, you just want to continue and try to be deeper and deeper in scientific field. And you always apply for MA, master's degree program, in order just to get more skills, more experience, and why not to be more proficient and experienced specialist in your field. Um, that's like, let's say that when you apply for MA degree, it means that you are going to start the first step in your scientific field, in your research for writing research thesis program or this paper, because in different country it just varies depending on what you are going to study, what you are going to exploring for 2 years, maybe in some cases 2.5 years, and after it you are going to get your MA degree. From this point of view, you are going to not only, for example, to get to study different or some important subjects that really they are very important for your for getting your MA degree, but also at the same time you are going to start writing this is paper which can be like a stepping stone for you for your further scientific degree, because let's say majority of the applicants of master's degree are going to continue their education for a PhD, for doctorate. Mainly they are continuing the topics they usually choose for MA degree. In my case, for example, it wasn't the same one, because for my I have two master degrees in different spheres. The first one I got from is a field of psychology, and the second one, my second MA degree, I got is a field of foreign languages. But what refers to my PhD, I chose another field. Is pedagogical sciences. At the same time, that's why three different just fields it was for me. Just I wanted to try a new sphere. That's why I have chosen different, but have many friends who have started from their MA education thesis paper, and then the second part, like it was their PhD because they were continuing the same topic. That's why it's first of all, it's very important one. What field do you need? What field do you want to get into deeper and deeper and to get more and more knowledge and experience in it? And it's also it has this is the first advantage that is going for you, and the second advantage going to that you really are acquainted better and better with your topic, and it's easier for you to go to find something for you and to just do more and more experiments if you are in science world or if you are in pedagogical or language field to get more activities or some kind of conducting lessons which will really will be helpful for you. That's why the second advantage for you, like a plus for you, that you already from your MA, you know what are you going to continue, what kind of work are you going to continue, and it's very, let's say, easier for you to do and to go on. Mm. From my experience, it was difficult for me because, as I have just mentioned, I have three different spheres and it was a little bit difficult, but at the same time, it was like motivating me because I could explore and know more and more. And for example, the experience in the psychology helped me to get involved in the foreign language easier. And what refers to the pedagogical for my PhD, it was easier, much easier for me because I already had just two MAs, and all these experiences helped me to get involved in easier and easier, and in a short time, not only do some kind of research, but also at the same time being able to write articles, to conduct different kinds of webinars, seminars, and really they were like a basement for me to continue and to know more about these new fields that I have chosen for my PhD. And now, when I just look back, I just see that there have been done a lot of work has been done, and everything every time when I'm having a training course, a seminar, or just reading lectures for different countries, university students, I see that all everything that I have just gained during the years, now I'm going to use all of them, and it's really helpful for me. That's why when you, it can be like at the same time motivating one if you don't continue your MA topic and you want to go to another field and to research to know more about another fields too. From this point, I can say that while you are going to choose a topic for your thesis, it's very important, first of all, just to you can watch, you can read different kinds of information, and it's very really important one because in many cases when you are going to represent or you are going to uh, choose uh, mm, just a field for you uh, in order just to be able to choose a modern topic. But before starting, before going, and before doing everything, just be assured about it that you really are interested in it because you are going to start a research work. And what refers to the research work, it can be an innovation, it can be deep research, it can bring you to new results, even some kinds of innovations that hasn't been in your field or has been, but not so much developed and not so much research because you can like let's remember the structure of the sentence. I can take word, then make word collocation, then simple sentence, then large and compound sentence. In this case also, you try first of all to choose the field. You are going to do your research. You are going to write your thesis paper, and according to this paper, you are going just to continue and at the same time uh, to know. Then, when you just choose your have chosen your field, you are going to concentrate to focus which branch you want to go. Because, for example, as for me, mm, when I was choosing, uh, I have chosen my field was pedagogical sciences. But as you know, pedagogical sciences they have many different kinds of branches, and you can't just go through. You can use take something from each field and branch and use it in your thesis paper, but you unfortunately you have just to choose only one branch and be focused on this branch. In my case, for my PhD from pedagogical sciences, I have just chosen the teacher training branch, how we can train the teachers, how can it be, and also what peculiarities or what kind of features can have. And I was just focusing on it, and it's this in from this point it just made has made my work easier because now I was concentrating only, for example, on the information that I need for teacher training, how to plan, how to organize, how to conduct the course, even on the virtual platform or face to face, and all the series that are including in this. In your case, also, first of all, when you uh, chose the science, the field, then go to the branch. In this case, you will be also oriented and focusing on a concrete topic that you are going to use in your research paper. And from this point, it's very important just to have, because while organizing and planning your thesis paper, your next step after having the and choosing the branch is going to be the topic. Always try to investigate and explore and find more information. For example, at this moment, which information is actual for you? Um, for example, maybe if I'm in the branch of biology, maybe there are some kinds of new innovations in the field of DNA, and I can choose something, or for example, what changes can be, or if I'm in the field of foreign languages, I can use, for example, what technologies or what is the impact of the technology. Or if I'm in the field of psychology, I can choose something, or in teaching process or teaching field, I can choose something, mm, for example, 21st century education or the psychogrammar of 21st century teacher, or what skills should a 21st century teacher have, 21st metacognition or something, critical thinking. These are some kinds of modern topics that usually are in the center of attention of the whole education system, especially now when we try nearly 90% we have just passed from teacher-centered teaching to the student teaching centered teaching. In this case, it's very important. For example, metacognition or critical thinking development. And I can use this like at first using like one word and trying to expand this word, giving different kind of features and peculiarities, and trying to just settle down on a specific sphere where it is going to be investigated by us. Because when you are a PhD student, it means that you are one level up. Why I'm saying one level up? Because in this case, you are going like be on the same scale with your scientific advisor. Just the difference is going to be that They have already, for example, defeated and got their professor, doctor degree, and here you are still going to defeat and preparing for it. That's why try also while choosing a topic, try to discuss and try to analyze not only from your point as a student, but also from the point of a scientific advisor or a scientist, because it will give you more opportunities to know more about the sphere, about the topic that you have chosen for your PhD or for your thesis paper. Uh, it mm, includes usually new areas of the research, because you can't take just one topic that has been uh, explored for so many times by so many scientists or educators, etc. But also you are going to take something new. For example, if there is a time management problem, I can take this problem and try to have novelty for him, try to use it to investigate and represent it from other side. It will be like a new research, new area of research for you, because you have, while having your thesis paper, you should have something novelty in your thesis paper. And also, it should be like a very important paper, paper like proof of your scientific degree, a proof of your scientific uh, just work of 2 or 3 if you are an MA student. For PhD, it will just take you 3, 4, 5, and more years, because I have many friends who are working, for example, on them, especially when they are from the science branch, they are working 10 and more years doing different kinds of biological or chemical, physical experiment in order to get the results, and it depending on the area you have chosen. That's why um, it should be like a very important concept for you while doing it. And after choosing the topic, sorry, you should also know about the structure of writing thesis paper, because you can't start, for example, from experimental part and then go conclusion what refers to the theoretical part. No, you are going to do a very important work, because when you work on the thesis paper, you should start from a very beginning. This is called like an introduction part. Usually, in your introduction part, you are going to have many different kinds of mm, ones. I hope that my screen is visible, yeah, for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
because I'm writing, thank you. Because I'm at the same time going to work not only just with presentations that I have just prepared for you, but at the same time, I want to make it a practical one. That's why we will do. As I have mentioned, we usually start from the introduction part. What can be included in introduction part? Because while talking about the introduction, it should not only, first of all, it should include the title of your research paper, because you start working on the title, and after it, you are going to have your aim and objectives. Why did you want to, uh, what is your aim, and what are you going to do? Usually, under the point of aim, we usually take my aim is, for example, to investigate the DNA, for example, uh, changes when for example, when the person is in a stressful situation. For example, let's imagine that I have such kind of topic. I'm going to, and my aim is this one. And according to the aim, I'm going to set up some kind of objectives that uh, they are objectives, but in real. life, they are going your steps. Because, for example, I will start my first objective will be to um, explore, for example, the system of DNA, maybe that to investigate the situation of a stressful situation or the changes of a person during the stressful situation, etc. I can just use anything. These are going to be like they are going to come out from the aim, but at the same time they are going to be like the steps that you are going to follow in order to do the whole experiment, the whole just thesis paper work. Then, why it is modern? Why this topic is modern? Because you can't just choose in general. You can choose any kind of topic, but always just pay attention. Is your topic a modern one or not? Because if your topic is a modern one, it will just many people will be interested in your topic, and at the same time, many uh, much work. Maybe there will be a lack of or a short of literature or books or information that you are going to gain, but it will be really motivating you because you will, oh, there is some kind of lack or there is something missing in this field, and through my thesis paper I'm going to have it and also to bring a novelty for them. That's why it's very important to know about the modern. The next step is going to be the novelty. uh, what novelty are you going to get at the end of what is going to be the result. For example, if I'm in the field of science, I can do an experiment and I can get this result at the end of the experiment. Or if I'm in the teaching field, I can have maybe I will create a model or a module or maybe a set of activities that will help, for example, to develop speaking skills in primary school, or if it's, for example, a course of business English, maybe I'm going to create a module that will help me to motivate or to make easier for students to learn business English or etc. It can be any field depending again on the topic, on the field that you have chosen, novelty, and also uh, it's very important one to have a hypothesis because this is going to be like something that you are going to focus and try to prove. For example, I can have such kind of hypothesis. If the people are in stressful situation, the structure or the content DNA changes, and this can be my hypothesis, and at the end I'm going to prove or vice versa not prove that it's the same. For example, depending on and according to it you are going to structure and to continue your work. What are you going to do? Because when you are working on introduction, these are the main points, and also in your introduction you can also just have something about the content, about the method, what kind of methods you are going to use, and also a research area, scientific area, and practical area. In your scientific area, you are going to have the points, all the information in an analyzed form is that you have found from the literature, from the internet, from the library, from the books, etc. This is going to be like scientific point, and this is something that has already been proved. And according to this, and using some kinds of methods, you are going to give the relation between them and get a new result. And that's why it's very important, for example, to find in this case something that you really are interested in. And giving the methods, in this case, you are going to describe or to choose and include some sets of methods that are going to be really the most important ones for you in order to do your research. And it can be different kinds of methods, starting from the practical one starting from the experimental one and going through the stages, and at the same time try to make some kinds of experiments in your field. And then going to the major papers that usually you use in order to do some kinds of researches and experiments in this field. And these major papers usually referring to the theoretical part, because when you have your introduction part, this is going like the first point of your thesis paper. After it, you are going to start the first chapter. A little bit later, I will go through the chapters and give all the description to you. And then going to the experimental part, conclusion part, discussion part. Let's go through the steps in order to have more and more detailed information about it. The first one is going to be steps in constructing a thesis. What do you need for it? To starting your first step, theoretical part, it means going to through the all information that you need to start writing your thesis paper. And usually start from the sources as I have mentioned. And here is also very important to choose, because I can open the Google, just write down, for example, DNA changes in person, for example, and there will be a lot of lists of different kinds of sources which can be like safe and not safe sources, because it's very also important if this source is a safe one or it's a copy paste of another source. And in this case, I can just download, copy, and gain a lot of information about this topic. And then I'm going to work out this information. Don't just hesitate, and you can download any kind of information, because maybe you will take only one sentence from this source, but it will be a very important source or basement for another source. That's why don't just hesitate. You can just choose and download different kinds of the sources and information, books, ebooks, etc. Or even also pay attention to the articles and scientific journals, because maybe there are many books which are not available for you, for example, get the information for them, but when you search and find scientific journals and articles or even webinars, here you can find valuable information on your topic. Because in many scientific journals there are some kinds of experiments or researches which are like the latest one, and you can just get much information. And after reading, for example, an article, you can do some kind of notes to analyze a primary like a source for you. And one more thing, pay attention to the used books, the resources, and also the references at the end of the article, because they can give you like a hint, or they can mention some kind of book, for example, that you haven't met or you haven't even known about it, and it will be like a great idea for you to search and also to look through the book and find something available information for you for your thesis work. And also to after analyzing these sources, um, once you have, and you should start writing down and getting some kind of information on it. And it's very important, one, for example, when you start working out the whole information that you have gained during your research, it's very important in some cases to pay attention how many sources you have got. And starting working out, you will just find some kind of sources that are really very helpful for you to um, work out. For example, at first, on the first stage, I can find out about 30 books. Then I will start looking through them and find that the last fifth one or this one, they are not necessary, and they don't contain information that I really need for my thesis paper, and I just skip them and don't use them. And after it, I will go again looking through the whole. Maybe you at first, on the first stage, you will have 20 books, but on the last stage, you will have only 5 books. at the end of it and you don't know what to do. That's why just start working it and keep prominent in your introduction, because all the information that you are working and analyzing, it's very important that it should be connected to your introduction. Because as I have mentioned in our introduction, we usually have our aims, goals, objectives, and even the methods or something, the novelty, the modern, why it is modern, everything. That's why everything, every kind of source that you find, please try to get in touch to have the relation with your introduction. And also, in some cases, anticipate the counter argument, because you should have different kinds of arguments, and at the same time, you should pay attention to some more maybe topics or some more features that you really need for your thesis paper. Now, let's go and go. About the purpose and significance of the study. Just a second. Uh, let's start from this one. Um, it's very important when you have something to be done to set up your goal, your purpose, and also explain the significance of it. Because the first part, which is going to be theoretical part, you are going to uh, give a real and proofly just statements that you have this basement, and according and basing on this basement you are going to continue, and at the same time to prove that your topic is modern one and you have got such kind of fidelity in your research work. And also it should be discussing how the study, you can use the theoretical body for your practical experiment part, because when you study something you should have a proof, and for proof you should do some kind of experiment in order to get the outcome you want to get. Then comes the review of the literatures I have told you, suggesting some framework of everything that usually you need for it, to review, to analyze, uh, use any kind of resource that you really need. Even, for example, when you are working on a method part, you can observe, you can watch, you can choose different kinds of methods. Even, for example, I can take a method that is really useful, for example, for a part of biology, but I can choose, make some kinds of changes and use this uh, part in my pedagogical, for example, pedagogy science field, I can use it. Then after it comes to the methodology part, just the method that we usually use, we should experiment. For example, I can use this method, I can start working on it, trying to describe, trying to do some kind of experiments, but the results that I get, it's not enough for me. That's why I can change the method or take some kinds of available results from this point and use them, uh, trying to change the structure or the direction of the method, and use it from the point of my research, and it will be really helpful for me. And in some cases, there is a very important part for theoretical part. I can research and get or read or even watch nowadays many experiments, especially if it's in the field of science. I find some good experiments and using my research thesis paper from another point, making some kind of changes, or this idea is a very brilliant idea, I can again change or this method or this structure and choose it from my point. In a teaching field, it's very easier, because I can change method and try to use it in pedagogical field from another point. Um, it also refers to the subjects. For example, I can take one method, brainstorming, let's take, and I can use it in biology, in languages, in mathematics, just like an icebreaker for my students. And this method, it doesn't matter what field you are, it really works in any field and really one. But not only choose the methods that are very well known, but at the same time try to find some methods which are unique and which will give like significance to your thesis paper, because when you have a special unique method, it makes your thesis paper also a unique one, and you can just work and analyze it from that point, and maybe you will get some kind of outcomes that you even don't expect, or during the process of your experiment you will get other results that can be used from another point, or just doing some kind of another conclusions and findings, because as you see, we have the aim, we have the object, we have the other things, and at first we go to the scientific field because like we are a student who has come for the first time to a lesson and doesn't know what to do, and in this case like a lecturer professor helps him, giving him some books or lectures. In your field also is the same. When you choose the thesis paper, oh, this topic is very modern one, I want to write a thesis work, but in many cases you don't know what kind of work you are going to do, and how hard it or difficult it will be for you to investigate this topic. And from this point it's very important one, to have the whole chain of all your steps, that they are connected to each other, and from the one's outcome just starts the beginning of the second, um, just part of your chain. And as you see, we have come from introduction, from theoretical part, then we chose sources, and also pay attention how we can choose the sources and what can we do in order to have real findings. And then we go to the methodology part, because we have scientific, and now we are going to give some kinds of proofs for it in order to get the outcomes for it. And then for we have scientific field, we have methods we have already chosen, and the ways we are going to do some kinds of observations, and we are going to the next part which is called as findings, because it's going to usually we do it in experiment at the end of the experimental part, when we have some kinds of experiments, or I don't know, questionnaires, maybe ankeets or tests, or if it's teaching field, it can be even lesson plans, or just conducted lessons which you can use in order to really have to just to analyze the data that you have got from it. And everything that you have find, you are going to analyze and give the result, to show the result. It can be through the presentation, it can be through the different kinds of uh, just a second, I will show you something I have opened beforehand. uh, like this one, it's going to be, it's about the online learning. If you see, here are some kinds of presentations that is going to give you everything about the research you have done. This is going like a theoretical part for you. And as you see here, we have an like an experimental part, which gives us information, more information about usage of online learning. This is data that you can be shown through charts, through diagrams, through other data that you have done, or even it can be like a tables where you can represent the result of everything you have done, such kind of thing. This is going to be like a proof of the experiments you have done. For example, if I have a questionnaire, I can just sum up or work out on the whole experiment questionnaires, and through the diagrams, for example, I can show what I have done and what kind of results, because in the last part, we are going to discuss, you are going to give some kind of results about what have you done and what had you come, what conclusions do you have at the end. Mm, Now, that's why it's very important part for you to pay attention to the part of analyzing the data. What have you find and what you are going to do with the result you have got. Because I can find something, I can find the result, and this result I can, according to it, I can create a module, I can create a model or any kind of new equipment for you. It's very important one. And then after it, we go to the discussion part. Um, I have just named them chapter one, chapter two, chapter three, but it's not obligatory in your thesis work to have, for example, 5 chapters. I can have, for example, the first chapter as a theoretical part, and my first theoretical part can be, for example, 3 or 4 points headings. Then the second part for me can be like experimental part. Here I can have, for example, 2, 3 points. And then after it, or before third part, I can have if I have some kinds of novelty, or if I'm creating a module or a model, or I don't know, I'm going to give the description of a new equipment that I have created. It will mean that I'm going to have the third chapter for me too.
I
And
request
here,
participants to kindly mute yourself. Participants, please mute yourself.
and here you are going to, in this part, you are going like a conclusion part for you, because you are going to give the concluding part, and at the same time you are going to do some conclusions to make the relation between the theoretical and experimental part, like mixing them, what kind of mixture you have got, and how you are going to use all of this. Because I can have an ability, and if it's, for example, graphic design or something, I can just what to do. For example, imagine you are a programmer and you have created a program for a computer program, and you are not only going to create, you have created it, but also you want to taste it, and according to it, it can be one more chapter for you, because you are going to try it and give the results, for example, the influences or outcomes of it. It's also a little bit, it depending on the structure and field of your thesis work, and do it. And at the same time, it is after doing such kind of discussions, you are going to go and have more. Let's go to this part and do some kinds of conclusions, because for your thesis paper it's very important one to have your conclusions. Your conclusions can be differently, because I can have conclusion with tips, I can have conclusion with graphics, or I can but everything, I just remember you are going to take from your experiment chapter, from your data that you have got at the end of your experiments. And uh, be also very attentive, because you should pay attention and see. For example, if I have, my first objective is, for example, investigate the structure of DNA, I have to look at my first objective, and then what I have done for investigating my first objective, then what result I have got at the end, and write down on your conclusion. Because when you are writing a thesis paper and later you are going to defeat it, during the whole process, when there are many lecturers, professors who are eager to know what have you done and what is your result, they don't have your thesis paper work. It can just be changed. For example, if you are MA, you can start from the, for example, for about 50 pages, your work can be about 50 pages. If you are a PhD, more 100 and more or 200 and more, I don't know, for doctorate. Remember, all the presenters, they don't have so much time to go to look through the whole 50, 100 or more pages in order to see what have you done. That's why when you write your conclusion, always try to keep the touch between your objectives, what have you done, and what conclusion. Because while looking through them, they usually look at your objective and your result, what have you done. And also they pay attention, especially your, for example, your novelty, your hypothesis, and also what have you done, like a brief description of it, and what have you concluded, because your conclusion is very important. You can have an objective, but you do nothing on that objective, but write some kinds of conclusion, not referring to these objectives. It will be like failure for you because it means that you haven't worked. You have just, in some cases, even they can doubt that you have done copy paste some cheating. It's not appropriate because you are a scientific, you are in a scientific field, and everything should be just fair in this case. That's why in your conclusions be very attentive, and also it's very important to pay attention to the references because the references should include many different sources. Usually we work in English language, but you'll have, for example, some sources from your native language, from another language. You can even translate some important points from another and include this book. And also remember one more um, important fact: you can't include the book that you haven't used, or you can't include in your references the link or the source, the light source that you haven't opened or used, because in this case it will mean that you haven't done. Because there should be maybe one who can say, this idea is not in this book. Why have you written, or what have you taken, for example, from this source from for your thesis work? Uh, it's all. And in any case, it's your work. Remember that when it will come time to defeat, remember there is no one in the uh, committee who are observing you, in the defeat committee, no one who can know more than you about on your topic, because this topic you have been investigating about 2, 3, 4 and more years. You know every secret is that on that topic, and you know how you have done it, how you have constructed your work, how have you conducted all your experiments, and how as a whole, let's say, hard work. Because for MA it's another field. For PhD, when you are working on your PhD, for just you should forget for some time forever about everything, especially if you want to do it in short time, or there are some things that you should do urgently. That's why be very serious one, be very just in some cases be patient, because you should do, maybe there are some failures, there are some misunderstandings in, or you can work, but this is that really this information is not necessary for my work, why I have taken. And attend more and more webinars, seminars, and conferences on your topic, because I think if you search, especially nowadays when there are a lots of online conferences, you just, it's a very good opportunity for you to attend and to know more about on this topic. And also don't hesitate starting writing articles on this field, because if you have article, you can take something from your thesis work, make it like an article, publish it. It will be like a basement for you, especially for your PhD, for your doctorate stage, etc. That's why it will be like a self work for you, because in this case you are able to work on it and to get to more, and also like improvement to show your audience that you have done such kind of work. Don't just be afraid of it. Just go take a risk. In many cases, and your risk just will be really uh, uh, very good one for you, because in this case you will be able not only prove, not only give them an ability, but at the same time it will be like a very good scientific work for you, and you will be able to prove to have an ability, and it will be like a stepping stone for you to continue for your PhD thesis work, for your doctorate work, etc. And in this case, you step by step, you will just become a real scientist, a real wisdom person in your field. And it will step by step by going and raising, it will just give you more experience, more skills in this field. Thank you. I think it will be helpful, my presentation and my speech for you, my lecture for you, for choosing a topic for going on.
Definitely, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Ellis, for this wonderful presentation. Your detailed demonstration on structure of thesis writing will definitely prove to be very, very useful for young researchers. Now we can have a short question and answer session. And meanwhile, I also request all the participants to switch on their cameras for a group photograph with the resource person. Thank you all. Now the session is open for discussion. Any questions from participants?
Good evening, ma'am. I want to ask you that one example you have shown to us that online about the online studying something. I want to ask you about the source of the data.
Of this data of my presentation, sorry.
In your presentation, you have shown
It's my own data. I have started these experiments before COVID,
okay, okay, okay.
and during it I have done, and after it I'm just continuing. And even if you are interested, later I will share the article. This is taken from an article published by me. I have published in an international journal this article about the teaching peculiarities of online learning during the COVID-19. Later, I will share, if you are interested, the article, you can read it. It is taken my own ones.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. It was very interesting.
Okay, thank you.
Any other query? Thank you, Dr. Alice, once again. Now I would request Dr. Sheetal M. Randhir, resource person for today's second session, to share her views on research problem. Dr. Sheetal is presently working at Tikaram Jagannath Arts, Commerce and Science College, Khadki, as head of BBA department. She has a vast teaching experience of 17 years. As an author of repute, she has written many textbooks, articles, and research papers in national as well as international journals. She is also writer of She is Special magazine. She is member and official volunteer of various international organizations like UNESCO, United Nations, International Human Rights Commission, and the World People's Forum. She is recipient of many awards such as Best Teacher Award, Outstanding Teacher Award, International Nelson Mandela Award, Global Award, and the list is going on and on. Ma'am, we are fortunate enough to have you with us today, and I'm sure that this session is going to be very fruitful for all of us. Over to you, ma'am. Kindly proceed. Ma'am, you are not audible. Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. Ma'am, you are not audible.
We are not able to hear you, ma'am.
Okay. Now am I audible without the earphone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Am I clearly audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Clearly.
Okay, okay. Um, Respected dignities. Um, okay. We are in a 1 week international virtual faculty development program on the research methods, tools, and techniques for the multidisciplinary research, which is organized by the Research and Development Cell of Government SPMR College of Commerce, Jammu and Kashmir, India. In
Dr.
collaboration
Sheetal,
with
please.
Capricorn Trust India. आई याला घेऊन जाणं मला लेक्चर सुरू झालंय.
Dr. Sheetal, please mute yourself.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, I'm very sorry for interruption.
No, ma'am, we
So,
understand. You can take few minutes,
respected Dr.
Speckle.
Respected Dr. Surinder Kumar Sharma, Principal Government SPMR College of Commerce, then Honorable Yasmin Ashai, Director College HED JNK. First of all, Adab, Salam Walaikum, Sat Shri Akal, Vanakam from the Maharashtra, Namaskar from the Maharashtra. From 7 days, the various eminent speakers had been the part of this the best FDP program, and the first session with the Honorable Mon Eric, my best friend, and then Smruti ma'am, Dr. Smruti ma'am, then Dr. Mobo sir, Dr. Priya, then my best friend Dr. Nada Rodrik from Croatia, then Tapsi Nagpal, then the Professor Faisal Fayaz, my best friend, Ruchiraj Thakur, ma'am, then Honorable Dr. Alam ma'am, Dr. Kaur ma'am, then Dr. Kofi sir, and the well-known speaker, Professor Dr. Pratik Mungekar. And recently we heard Dr. Alisa ma'am. She had given such a wonderful presentation on the thesis writing, which is the heart of research. So I'm going to present the first topic, the research selection of the research topic.
Ma'am, you're not audible. We are not able to hear you, ma'am.
Ma'am, you are not audible.
I think there is some internet problem. Now, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. No, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm sharing my screen. I'm sorry for this. Dr. Alisa ma'am, she had given such a wonderful session on the hard topic, and that is known as thesis writing, because wherever you will go in the world, the methods and techniques and tools are the same for writing the research topics. You all are came from the different states of the India and out of India also. So still we have to follow the same method for writing the research topic. Okay, I have shared my screen. Is it visible?
Not yet, ma'am.
So again, I'm trying to share my screen. Okay, now is it audible? Is it visible?
No, ma'am.
Not
Dr.
yet,
Vasudha,
ma'am.
ma'am?
Yes, ma'am, it is visible now.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, hi, this is Dr. Sheetal Randir, and I am going to talk about the research problem. But before starting my lecture, let me tell you the basic things. Why the research problem, selection of the research problem is the very crucial and important while doing our research or while doing our thesis. See, you all are the teachers, and we all are doing our PhD activities, or we all are doing our activities for completion of our task, our vision. But uh, the research, it is the very vast area, and the vision behind the research, the mission behind the research can be different. I have seen the people who became the millionaire trillionaire due to their research. I have seen the teachers, they had given the vast contribution, the huge contribution in the knowledge sector through their research. So basically, why research problem and how to select the research problem, this is my topic. And if you'll go through if you'll do the Google or the many websites, you will get the theoretical knowledge. But I'm going to present few something different thing which I have written in my textbooks, in my research methodologies books. Why research, and why to select the research problem, how to select the research problems. I have written my PhD thesis on study of municipal taxes and charges levied by Pune Municipal Corporation on notified slum dwellers. And I have also developed one model which is felicitated by the um, USA Advisory Board, and my research model is having 7 world records. Uh, and it has given the simple contribution towards the developing countries. For my model is known as a sustainable development model, CCMD model. So as being a teacher, I'm expecting from the other teachers also, we just not want, we don't need to complete just our PhD thesis, because after PhD actually our research work starts, which gives, and which is for to give the contribution for the sustainable development of the world. So once you will understand this theory, then there will not be confusion about what will be the research problem, because research problem, it is a first step. And I think we started this topic from the last, and the we started this topic from the last. The strategy behind this might be to understand the whole process first, and then touch from the first topic. So whenever we see the word that is research problem, then we have a big question mark. There might be some problem, and then we have to search the solution. So let us understand what is research problem first. A research problem is a specific issue or gap in existing knowledge that you aim to address in your research. You may choose to look for a practical problem aimed at contributing to change, or theoretical problems aimed at expanding knowledge. Again, I'm emphasizing this word, contribution to change, or theoretical problems aimed at expanding knowledge. If you'll understand this word, then you will understand what might be my research topic, or what might be my research problem. So research problem gives answer who, how, why, where, when, and what. A research problem is a statement about an area of concern, a condition to be improved, a difficulty to be eliminated, or a troubling question that exists in scholarly literature, in theory or in practice, that points to the need for meaningful understanding and deliberate investigation. So you all are the teachers from different area of the world. I think I should not explain you the definition of all these concepts, but I must emphasize the practical path to the research. So your research will take you to your exact solution. So the next slide is how to select research problem. So many times what happens, we before starting our research study, what we do, I have seen to my various friends, even I have seen my students, what they do, they start from the review of literature. Whenever they want to um, do the research, they start from the review of literature. What they do, either they go to the library, they do Google, and they search the various topics and how they went to the conclusion, how they have written the introduction, what is the objectives, what type of words they used while framing the hypothesis, what type of data the other have chosen for analyzing the for collection of the data, for analyzing tools for analyzing the data, how they have written the conclusion, how they frame the word, and how they structure the entire thing. Because from last 7 days we might have understood, and as being a teacher, you know, because this topic is from the first year to the students, what is the research and what is the design of the good research and good thesis. But my dear friends, my dear colleagues, my dear brothers and sisters, we have to choose that topic where researcher has interest and researcher has competency and researchers are available to guide the same research. We must get motivation while doing this study. We must have skill in that area. We must have the knowledge of that area. I'd like to give some example, because I have seen many students while writing the thesis, they do collect the information from various review of literature. Once you understand the problem, then you understand the path also, you know, from we have been learning the seminar has this FDP had given you the huge contribution in your knowledge. I think this is one of the best FDP where exactly focused on how to do the small thing unit wise and perfectly. So when the topic is yours, when you are the writer of any story, when you are the director of the picture, when you are the instructor of the picture, then you know which kind of actress and actor you must choose, what will be the area, what will be the scene, what will be, whether it is a what kind of emotion must put, what is the conclusion, what is the end of the story. You are aware of that. As you have learned writing of hypothesis, there you have seen hypothesis, that is the brilliant guess of the researcher about the topic. You know the problem, and you know the solution. Only the thing you'll have to fill the gap, how to reach till my solution. Sometimes what happens, whatever we do collect this primary data, secondary data, and when we try to tally the data, then we see, the null hypothesis is, we are the null hypothesis proven than alternative hypothesis. It can be happen. We have seen various types of research. um, we have seen in the discoveries, we have seen the scientific research. First our guess is different, and at the last we do get the another conclusion, another findings. So as being a researcher, this is our duty to put the correct and transparent information in front of the world, and to give the original contribution in the research field. Now you might be from the according to my knowledge, you might be from the commerce and management area. So what is your duty, where to give contribution? Because now I cannot tell you how to do the blood testing, and how to collect the samples, and how to put it, and how to prepare the report, and how to disclose it. So that is the scientific research. We are from the commerce and management background, so our field is totally different. So we must give contribution in this kind of things. So what kind of contribution must be, that we must understand first. I'll give you one example. One of the best researcher, she had done the research on the monkey's lifestyle, and literally she spent her 6 to 7 years in observation with those monkeys, their lifestyle, their living style, their chemistry. And she had taken out the notes, and she made the research contribution, which was really fantastic in the world of research. Even I have seen one researcher, she had done the research on the in con, related to women empowerment. She had done research on that woman which is aside the society. For that, she stay near that. She experienced that life by staying near to that area, and she had given the real contribution. See, if you want to do research, you cannot sit in the library on the Google in front of your laptop. You have to come out, and you have to come out, and you have to see the things what is exactly happening. Because many times it happens that whatever we are thinking from the outside, that is not correct. Many time it is different, and many time it is not exact what we are thinking. So what I want to tell you is that if you want to really do the best research contribution, because many times I have seen students get confused in the, just now Dr. Honorable Dr. Alice said that sometimes, as being a researcher, although we know all the area, all our problem, we have an interest, we have the knowledge, but in some phases we do stuck with we do stuck with our confusion, how to reach till our conclusion, till our findings. So my dear students, my dear colleagues, please be the narrator of that story which you are writing. Please write that story by your own, because if you start to take the suggestions from the others, so believe on me, you will not get success. Now the moving towards the another slide. Problems identification process. Although this is the standard problem identification process, as I told you, you must know the exact area where you have to work. The problem identification process is identify a field or area of interest. Your interest. I know that I want to complete my PhD thesis, I want to complete my master thesis, but master degree thesis. But the thing is that if I know the exact story where I have to work, where is my interest, then the chances of stucking your car in the area of research is very less. Then divide the broad area into smaller sub areas. Many times it happens like I had decided in my research study, I had decided that I am going to uh, work for entire India and the other developing countries. Then I came to know if I really want to give my original contribution, you cannot take the entire census in some cases for as a sample in your research area. As you all know, what is the sample size? In India, we say when our mother cook the food for the children, and when she cook the rice, what she does, she took the two while cooking the rice. What she does, she takes two units of the rice, or she take few units of the rice, and she checks whether the rice has cooked or not. So that selection of 2 3 units or 4 5 units, she comes to conclusion that rice has cooked now, this is we can eat it. So that is called sample. If you want to study, if you want to know the result whether this is cooked or not, you have to select few samples. Even one more example my teacher used to give us: if you are suffering from the dengue or malaria, doctor takes the few samples of the blood and they come on the conclusion whether this is a typhoid or this is the malaria or this is a dengue. So that is called the sample. We must know the few little concepts very clearly, what is that exactly, and we have to focus our the exact research area. So the next is select the most interesting topic. I will suggest you why I have chosen my topic, because basically I'm from the my childhood area is from the slum area, and I have seen there uh, the lots of government plans comes, the government's themes comes for the sustainable development of the people. If you see there, the population of the slum dwellers are huge, then employment opportunities are less, then the structure of the home are very small, and what we say, earner are less but eater are more. In that situation, although government tries with the come up with the various new plans, still uh, there is the gap to reach till the sustainable development. So as being a researcher, I found out that many times it happens before the rain comes, then we can see the road construction is going on. Then afterwards, if you'll see the basic facilities, basic infrastructures it is very poor. The water, the sanitations, we need to work on various area, but for that we need the huge fund. And if we need a huge fund, the slum dwellers populations are increasing day by day, and their contribution to the government is very less. And there, what we see, the burden on the existing facilities are increasing day by day, and the financial burden of the government is also increasing day by day. So as being a researcher, as being what must be our contribution to give the solution to our that society from where we are belonging. So I know I, as being a researcher, I knew the complete area. What is my area? What are the advantages of this area? What are the disadvantages of the area? What are the government seeing? Who are the stakeholders, and why this is happening? If I am the part of that society, then I know the each and everything of my research area. My dear brothers and sisters, if I'll go for the alien subject, then what will happen? I'll have to go through the Google, I'll have to go through the various review of literature, and you tell me one thing. My question is to all of you. If I'm writing my own poem, and if somebody is reading my poem, can you put the original feeling contribution to that words? The answer is no. If it is my own poem, if it is my own song, so whatever I can put my own feelings in that, the other can't. Understand? So for that, we must be the writer of our own script, and we must be the chooser of our own topic. So many times it happens in class, we do distribute the topic to the student. You please do on this. You can do this, do research on this topic. This is the recent trends, and you have to work on this. So that is okay. That is the need of an hour. With the some skill, some knowledge, we can go ahead with our topic. But if the topic is knowing topic, then you can give the original contribution. As being teacher, this is my sincere opinion. Then raise the research question. Raise the research question. So if you are the owner of that topic, you will have the various questions, and out of that you can select the most important question where to study and where I can give my huge contribution to the developing countries. So the developing countries can select my model, and developing countries. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So then somebody's then raise the research question. That is very interesting topic, and following your own topic, that is very interesting journey. Then formulate the objectives. Many times I have seen people start their objective minimum 4 to 7, and they start to study, to analyze, to emphasize, to suggest the measures. I'm very sorry, but in research, there is the theory behind this word. If you say to study, then you have the different way of your research. If you're saying to analyze, then there is a different way of research. If you're saying to measure, then there is a different way. And if you're, I many times I have seen the all words combined in one research. Okay, this is a technical thing. We have to go through the entire thing. So you put your objectives. What is the objective? Objectives are the path to your solution. So it is my problem, and this is the solution, and I'll reach my solution till this. The last wordings must be, I will suggest the measures to overcome the problem, and I will put the model. So this is your objective, and then evaluate the objective. Please evaluate the objective, as I told you, through the proper wordings, and re-evaluate. Many times you can change your objectives according to your experience area in the research field. So how to select research problems for the commerce and management students, and for the commerce and management teachers from the PhD field. I can see the various teachers from the various universities, and also PhD guides are sitting here, if I'm not wrong. So as being a researcher, as being a guide, what I feel, your topic must give contribution to the economic growth. Your topic, your problem must be in the road of the GDP growth. It must give contribution to the GNP growth. It must give contribution to the growth in the total income of the country's residents during a certain time of period. It must give the contribution in the area of increase the employment opportunity. It must give the contribution, although we are from the different multidisciplinary field, we are from the various field, so our topic must give contribution in the sustainable development in all aspects, in all dimensions. Our research must give contribution in a human development and its all aspects. And our research must be the new discovery. Please, it must not be, I have seen many times, like the study of sugarcane industries in the Maharashtra. And the second topic, the study of sugarcane industries in the Punjab, the study of sugarcane industries in the Zargav area, the study of sugarcane. How many times you are repeating the same topic again and again and again? So your area must be like, although you have done the same study, what is your original contribution? And why you have, many times I have seen the people are staying in the rural area and they are working on the urban area. Many times I have seen people are staying at the urban area and they are working on the rural area. My dear colleagues, even the teacher, respected guides are here. Just let me know. It will be very time consuming. Your question will be like, ma'am, can we do like this? If I'm sitting here, can I work with the developing countries? Can I work with the rural area? Although I am from the urban area, yes, we can. Yes, we can. This is a time-consuming process, cost-consuming process. You have to give hours and hours there to with your observation techniques. And yes, we can do the study, we can do the research. Many times the history teachers, they do the research, although they are not part of that area. Yes, we can. But many times it happens, this kind of research takes long time and we cannot come along with the original contribution. So please, this is my request to the researcher, please come with the original contribution. This is very challenging, this is very interesting, and I have seen this FDP had they called the well-known speakers and researchers from the worldwide, those who have given the original contribution in the research sector. So why we are saying for the original contribution? So what I feel, it must be contribute to this structure, this area. There must be the contribution to the economic growth of your country. Then next, you all are the teachers and we have gone through this process. Source of the research problem. Like, how can I reach to the source of my research problem? First is the methods, then stages, and then results. The methods, literature analysis, empirical analysis, experiment synthesis, empirical analysis. So these are the methods. We must go through this. And I cannot say I'm doing the empirical study, so there is no relation with the literature analysis, experiment and the empirical analysis. I'm sorry to say, as being a researcher, this is my observation. In one research, we have to go on through the various methods and we have to stuck with our one method. Then stages, which is already explained by my the other speaker, Honorable Dr. Alisa ma'am. So I'll not waste too much time on that because she had given the very best contribution on this. See, we must have the research clarification, then the descriptive study, then the prescriptive study, and the descriptive study second. And the results we focused on, Dr. must be focused on the initial problem, understanding, and objectives. Yes? Anybody wants to ask any question on this slide? Okay. So the result, it must be, the initial problem, understanding, and objectives, then influencing factors, success factors, solution, methods, and tools, evaluation plan, and the evaluation and conclusion. I know these all the known things for you all, and I think the theoretical is available. You can, if you'll search my name on the Google, Dr. Sheetal M. Randhi, then you will find my various books on the same topic. Even the best researcher had given the best contribution in this area. If you do the Google, the best writer has written the research books. Before going to your research, please go through the basic of research knowledge and then start your research, because if you want to build any building, or if you want to build any statue, you must know the structure of this first. You have to learn the structure from the source of the books, and first go through this and then fit your topic in that format. So that is called the research. How it is possible? Then your research problem must be related to your entire things, your entire knowledge, your entire field. So one of the students asked me last time in the FDP, ma'am, I am from the management and I want to do my research in art faculty. Is it possible? New education policy allows you this. Yes, it is possible. If you are belonging from such area, yes, it is possible. Then his second question was, is it as being a professor, as being a teacher, will they consider my PhD? Yes, they have to consider the PhD, and as new education policy is emphasizing on the multidisciplinary research, and yes, they are allowing you. But as I told you, the research area must be known area where you are giving your contribution. The many time I have seen in many research book, it is written the research must be your interesting topic. So I'm from the education field, and if you'll tell me, please kindly write down on the modeling. Yes, I can write by my observation, by my study, by my research contribution. I can give my research contribution, but that will be secondary contribution. It will not be original contribution. If one researcher out of the modeling sector, whatever he or she can write, that I can't give my original contribution to that wall, and whatever with my suggestions, findings will be, that will be just a theoretical for the degree. So this is a source of your research problem, and your research problem must be related to this area only. Now moving towards the next slides, I think my colleague had already emphasizing on this topic, but I would like to emphasize more on this structure, because we do mistakes many times. There is the universal standards while writing your research thesis, while putting your problems of the research, and you have to follow that. There is the universal standards while preparing your first page, while putting your tables related to your problems, your list of main sections, subsections with page numbers, including tables, illustration, a reference list, and appendices. Again, I'm telling you, there is a universal standards like accounting subject. As being an accounting teacher, you can, the a few accounting teacher might be here, you can ask them, whatever we are following the methods universally, it is also accepted by the world and they are following the same. The research is the same. There is a universal standards, although it is the scientific research, although it is the commerce research, social research, historical research, you have to put your research like this. And you know, there is till today, I have not seen any new suggestions about writing of the research, the new formula of the writing of the research. You abstract a one paragraph overview of aim, method, results, and conclusions, or one or more page divided into the same section in the report related to your problem, focusing on your problem. Solution, focusing on your problem. Then induction, the research aim and objective related to your problem, including your hypothesis, rationale of the study, why the issue of investigation were important or significant, might define the technical or specialist team, outline the scope of the report, briefly state how report is organized. The main area of the introduction must be related to your problem. Once you will write, once you will focus, once you will have the clear idea about your problem, believe on me, my dear brothers and sisters, if this chapter is very much strong, then your research will be very easy. Then you must know the rationale of this study. Why I'm doing this study and what will be the contribution of this study in the research area and for the sustainable development or for the welfare of the society. No research is anti-society research, anti-welfare research. So your research must be that, and you must know the rationale of the study. Then your topic becomes strong. Then background of the study, you have to do the survey. You have to design your theme, the concepts, annotations of the terms, current research, the recent research who had given the contribution in the same field of knowledge. One my question is to you all, please, if you can give the answer, it would be my pleasure to listen you. Can I do the research on the same topic with the same conclusion, with the same findings, with the same data analysis? Only periods are different. My question is to you all. Can I repeat my question? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah. Will you please tell me, can I write my research thesis on the same topic, with the same findings, with the same objective, with the same conclusion? Only the dates, periods are different. Can I? Have you understood my question?
No, ma'am, I think
Can we?
it is just a
Can we write
repetition.
this?
No, ma'am, yeah. We
Can we
cannot.
write? We cannot.
No,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes, we cannot. But if you see, if you've gone through the Google, can we find the same topics? Okay, you all are the teachers. For the master degree also, we can we see these same topics? Only the areas are different, years are different.
Yes, ma'am, it's quite possible.
Yeah, it's quite possible. It is possible, but it must not be. This is not the standard practices. The research must give the original contribution, and which must be related to the objectives which I have given in my first topic. Okay, Thank you for your answer. So now the methods. See, as I told you before that, if you know the what type of problem you are feeling and what type of problem you want to you want to give the solution of that problem, then you do reach to the accurate methods, how the study was carried out, how data was analyzed. You have to put these things in this area of the methods. Then results. Present the results objectively without discussion can include the explanatory or supporting data and the including illustration, figures, and tables. Please follow one thing. Don't say, I think, I observed, I emphasize. No. The researcher think, the researcher observed, the researcher concluded. Please mind it well. You are not the part of that project. The researcher is the part of project. So you have to adopt the universally accepted method while designing this result chapter. Okay, this is the heart of your thesis. People are interested in this area, in your result area. Then the discussion area, the evaluation and discussion of the result, comments on the significant finding and implication might also include whether any initial hypothesis was supported, whether or not the findings made the aim of the study, or the comparison of your findings with other researcher, limitations, flaws, and problems in the study design or methods. Yes, without problem, there is no research. Without stucking in the research journey, there is no research. So you have to put here what exactly you face. Many times I have seen people never write this topic, although we all are selling in the same boat, we all suffers the same, but we fail to present our thing, because once you write such kind of chapter, it is very really helpful for the other researcher, for the expansion of the new research on the same topic. And then the conclusion. See, the problem is related to, problem must be related to your conclusion. It must be clearly concise conclusion to the study, briefly restated how well the study design made the study aims, emphasizes major findings and implications of findings addressed in discussion section, briefly recap the any faults or limitations covered in the full in the discussion section. If applicable, suggest future research and directions. Yes, your conclusion must be the solution to your problem, and it must be the direction for the further research. Many times, researchers, they don't give recommendations because it is if applicable. But as being a researcher, as being a teacher, this is my suggestions to you all. Please give recommendations. Summarize and list in order of importance might also be numbered. Please give recommendations. The original contribution of researcher always gives the research recommendations. Then references, please, there is a universal format of reference writing. Please use this format and conclude your session. This is the universal accepted methods. Hope till this you understood. And I want to emphasize one thing. So the entire flow chart, the entire research song must be singing along with your problem only. Many times it happens, we start our song with the different rhythm and we ends with the different rhythm. So it must not be like that. You start with the same rhythm and end with the same rhythm. Start with the same problem. Don't close with the another problem. The another problem can be your recommendation. So this is the important of your problem. The flow problem must be from the first chapter to the last chapter. The flow must be the same. Now, many times it happens. I'm moving towards a conclusion session. Many times it happens. We know our problem, we have an interest, we have a skill, we have a knowledge, but many times it happens that while collection of the data, we do face many problems. While interacting with the people they don't have the importance for a study, and we are giving, we are proving that how my topic is important. Many time our topic is we do feel important to our topic, but our guides they don't feel important to our topic. Many time it happens that whatever you can see inside your topic, the guide cannot see, or the referee cannot see, but this is your skill to put your problem ahead, and to give the solution to the world. As when I completed my research, whatever I followed, that I'm giving you gift. Please, while doing your research, although you're doing your research project for your master degree, for your PhD degree, for your post PhD degree, please build strong mindset. Why I'm saying please build strong mindset, because many time I have seen the students leave the PhD in between because they feel no, my topic is different, and now the conclusions are coming different and I will be failed. Please don't feel like that. It never happens like this. It never happens like this. If you, as I told you, if you are the writer of your own story, then you it happens. Sometimes such stage comes where you feel scared. Oh, I start with this problem. I start with this problem and some different conclusion is coming out. Please put it in the recommendation part. Please follow this format which I have followed while doing my research. Always see your powerful self-image, the strong, please develop the strong beliefs as being a researcher, and always have happy thoughts and happy state of mind while doing your research. Please adopt the forever effective habits. Please feel from inside that I am a researcher and I want to give the original contribution. You will reach to your destiny. And the successful automation leadership qualities must develop while doing your research, because nobody is coming from the sky and nobody is going to complete your research. You have to complete your research by your own. Then always have a self-talk, always have a visualization, always have an introspection, self-respect. Please do give self-respect. Please give the respect to your study. Please feel importance to your study. Then only you can prove that your study is important. And please always have feeling of high moral. And again, I suggest you please build strong mindset. Discuss the problem with your friends. Please, I'm requesting you one thing. If you are doing research, please stay with your other researcher. Please have tea with other researcher. Please have food with other researcher. Please have a discussion time with them. Please, if you want to swim, you have to come in the water and you have to check whether water is hot or water is very cool and how I can manage. And you have to listen from the same galaxy how they have survived. Get and provide a care and special attention. Acknowledge and appreciate our own behavior, and please have a self-talk and self-respect while doing your research. This what I feel the importance while doing your research. While concluding my topic, I'll just say one thing. Let's work days and nights. We will work days and nights with full patience to the way right. We'll make history. We will make history. Don't surprise. Still like sun, we will rise. Still like sun, we will rise. Thank you very much. If you have any query, any question, please. The further session is open for that.
Thank you, ma'am, for your elaborate presentation on identification of research problem. Your idea of finding significance of research in changing people's lives in a positive way is really very brave and inspiring too. Now the house is open for discussion. Any questions from participants? I also request all the participants to kindly switch on their cameras for a group photograph with our resource person.
Can I ask my question meanwhile?
Yeah, please,
Sure,
please
sir,
ask
sure.
the question.
Okay, okay. Good evening, ma'am. This session was very grateful session and full of knowledge. Right now, I just took admission in PhD. It is just 2 months, and I have written one paper. I hope I am clearly audible, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're
sir.
audible,
Yeah.
please.
Yes, ma'am. So, what my question is that while writing a paper, maybe due to some unintentional reasons, I might make some mistakes, maybe in some data, maybe in some approximation, maybe in some misinformation. So, where and how can put my some note that there may be some chances of error in the paper, like that.
Your question is, how can I avoid my mistakes?
If I made any unintentional mistakes in data or in approximations, there might be chances unintentionally. I don't know. We don't know. There might be some chances. So where can we
Yes,
place
yes.
some kind of note that if such kind of error should be there, they can let us know, or they can ignore, or like that.
Uh, Principal sir is there. With his permission, I will tell you one thing. Please do not write such kind of notes whether you have done mistake. And so many time it happens. Guide or the referee. They are interested with your conclusion, with your findings, with your analysis and all. And if you are giving exposure to your mistake, the entire thing goes around to your mistake. So don't do this thing. But I can tell you one brilliant idea for this. Please always have the notebook where you will do the introspection. What I have done, what I have written, what I have not written, what is the left, what is. That's what I have suggested. Please sit in the researcher galaxies. There you will understand uh, how to go correctly, and what they had done mistake and what I should not repeat the same. So this is only the brilliant idea behind this. But I will request you, please don't write any kind of note that this mistake had done intentionally or unintentionally. If I am not wrong, with the permission of other guide, I have given this my sincere answer.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Any other query?
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, I want to ask you a question that if it is compulsory to find a research question while doing a research, uh, that is my question. Actually, what happened? I was thinking to find a topic on a religious group, what their impact of religious behaviors on the environment, like social environment, physical environment, etc. So I cannot find any research question. So what should be here the research question?
Without research question, how can we say that is the research? The problem must be there. If there is no, I'll give you one example. Yeah, you can give the suggestions in your project. That will be your suggestive paper. But without the hypothesis and without the research question, we cannot say it is the research. For example, in the research area, if I am not wrong, if the murder has not happened, then why police are coming? And why they are doing investigation? And why they are adopting the process and methods? You're right that if you want to give the if you want to put the contribution through your various ideas of what to do in this area, in the environment area, that can be your suggestive paper, but it can't be the research. It is the searching, it is the researching which the knowledge is already existed, and we have to research it. Hope I have given your answer.
But
I have fulfilled the question.
ma'am, what should be the problem? That means when someone asks me that what is the problem for which you are going to research on that topic, so I get no answer for that.
Yeah.
Please,
So here I can suggest you
speak
one thing. Yeah,
the topic
Mr. Sumit.
that
I can suggest you one thing.
uh,
It is a
a
very best
religious
question
group,
actually.
ma'am, a religious group doing some activities, and because of their activities, there is an influence on the environment. So, what should be here a research problem? Can you please suggest?
So in your question is only a research problem is there, but you have to put in a very positive manner, and it must not be the anti-society research. You please go through the review of literature. You read the related literature about the same topic, and then you can see the what exactly problem and what you want to say. Hope you understood what I'm saying.
Yes, ma'am, I understood, but the related literature of the religious books, as this is a religious community, I am talking about the religious community. So most of the papers uh, intend to the religious faith, etc., etc. There is not a scientific paper I am getting.
Okay, okay. You do one thing. I think in my last slide I had written my uh, uh, contact details and email ID. You please contact me afterwards so I can suggest you few things with few researcher. I'll share my slide with
Can
the
you?
organizer.
Yes, please share it, ma'am.
Yeah, please. Anyone else?
Ma'am, I have one question.
Yes.
How can I use new information in my writing?
You want to write new information, original contribution.
Yeah.
Very nice. Can you give me the example? Which kind of information you want?
I mean to say that how do I use my information regarding my research, which is ethically true?
If it is ethically true, if
Yeah.
you're giving the original contribution, so you can put your information in the background of the study or in review of literature with the references of the other things.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, Miss Renu.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your responses. Now I would like to invite Professor Charandeep Handa to
I
take over from
express my
here.
sincere gratitudes towards the organizers because Kashmir is the heaven of the earth, and I got the opportunity to meet the God soul through this FDP. So I express my sincere gratitude towards the organizer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. Professor Charandeep Handa, over to you. Please proceed.
Thank you, Dr. Deepak. So let us proceed towards the validatory session. Ignorance is the curse of God, whereas knowledge is the wings wherewith we fly to heaven. Worthy chief guest for the validatory session of the FTP, Professor Naveen Anand, Dean, Academic Affairs, Cluster University of Jammu. Our guest of honor, Dr. Surinder Kumar, Principal, Government SPMR College of Commerce, Jammu. Dr. Pooja, Coordinator, R&D Cell of Government SPMR College of Commerce and convener of the FTP. Dr. R.S. Regin Sylvest, President, Cape Comorin Trust, our esteemed resource persons of today's technical sessions, Dr. Alice Dargarian and Dr. Sheetal M. Randir, members of the organizing committee, and dear participants, greetings to one and all. I, Charandeep Handa, Assistant Professor, Government SPMR College of Commerce, Jammu, am extremely overwhelmed to warmly welcome you all on the validatory session of 1 week International Virtual FTP on research methods, tools, and techniques for multidisciplinary research design, organized by Government SPMR College of Commerce, Jammu, in collaboration with Cape Comorin Trust, Tamil Nadu, India. Well, there is a proverb that all good things must come to an end, as nothing great will last forever. Well, it has been a great learning experience so far, as this FTP proved to be an eye-opening session for beginners as well as middle-level researchers in imparting the skills required to handle different tools and technologies that are useful during the entire process of research. This platform indeed provided us an opportunity to gain from the vast research experience of resource persons from India and abroad. But as I said, some things have to end for better things to begin. Moving ahead, I cordially invite Dr. Pooja, Coordinator R&D Cell and convener of this FTP, for formal welcome address. Ma'am, please.
Thank you so much, Charan. Respected Chief Guest on the occasion, Professor Naveen Anand, Dean Academic Affairs, Cluster University of Jammu, esteemed guest of honor, Professor Surinder Kumar, Principal Government SPMR College of Commerce, President Cape Comorin Trust, Regin Sylvest, eminent resource persons from India and abroad, distinguished faculty, team members, members of the host organization, scholars, ladies and gentlemen. A very good evening to one and all present here. I, Dr. Pooja, convener convener of this FTP and coordinator of Research and Development Cell, Government SPMR College of Commerce, feel extremely privileged to have been given this opportunity to welcome you all to the valedictory function of 7 days International FDP on research methods, tools, and techniques for multidisciplinary research design. This program has been organized by R&D Cell in collaboration with Cape Comorin Trust. The program aimed to provide an opportunity to academicians and researchers from various disciplines to discuss and share the contemporary issues of multidisciplinary research, innovation, qualitative and quantitative aspects, besides laying emphasis on review of literature, developing hypotheses, framing of research design, and comprehending the role and relevance of the tools for data collection and analysis. On behalf of our worthy Principal Sir and Research and Development Cell of Government SPMR College of Commerce, I would like to welcome Professor Naveen Anand, Dean Academic Affairs, Cluster University of Jammu, as our chief guest. Sir, thank you so much for sparing your valuable time in spite of your busy schedule, accepting our invitation and being with us today. Your presence, sir, is indeed a source of great motivation for all of us. Welcome, sir. We, the team of Research and Development Cell, feel deep sense of pride in welcoming our worthy principal, sir, and thanking him for his consistent inspiration and encouragement to all of us through his wholehearted support and guidance throughout this FTP. Thank you so much, sir, and I welcome you, sir. May I welcome Mr. Regin Sylvest, President, Cape Comorin Trust, and thank him for collaborating and facilitating this FDP by coordinating with experts and eminent resource persons from India and abroad, and ensuring the smooth conduct of all sessions during all days of this FDP. On behalf of R&D Cell, I would also like to express sincere appreciation and gratitude to all the moderators and the participants for your very active and lively discussions, which have actually made this FTP very successful. The 7 days long FTP consisted of 14 technical sessions deliberating on various topics ranging from thesis writing and planning, data collection and online tools, methods of research, formulation of hypotheses, primary data sources, interpretation of data and secondary materials, quantitative and qualitative research tools and techniques, to writing references using MLA APA styles. These resource persons delivered a total of 14 lectures guiding, motivating, and enlightening more than 120 participants. I once again welcome all the dignitaries and faculty members and grateful to all of you for making this event more informative, participative, and interactive. Thank you, and welcome all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Well, an idea of organizing this event has become a reality only because of your constant support and guidance. Thanks again, ma'am. Now, it is great honor for me to introduce and welcome a guest of honor, Dr. Surinder Kumar, Principal, Government SPMR College of Commerce, Jammu, to kindly address the gathering. Sir, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Very good evening, everyone. Shri Alok Kumar ji, IRS, Chief Patron of 1 Week International Virtual Faculty Development Program on Research Methods, Tools and Techniques for Multidisciplinary Research Design. Dr. Jasmine Asai, Director Colleges, Patron of the FDP. Dr. Naveen Anand, Dean Academic Affairs, Cluster University of Jammu, co-patron of the FDP and chief guest of this valedictory function. Dr. R.S. Rezen Selvist, President, Cape Cameron Trust, Tamil Nadu, India. Dr. Pooja, Convener and Coordinator, RDC, Government SPMR College of Commerce, Jammu. Professor Deepshikha Sharma, Organizing Secretary of the FDP, members of the organizing team, esteemed speakers from India and abroad, and participants. First of all, I extend a very warm welcome to all to this valedictory function of 1 Week International Virtual Faculty Development Program on Research Methods, Tools and Techniques for Multidisciplinary Research Design, being organized by Government SPMR College of Commerce, Jammu, duty of J&K, in collaboration with Cape Cameron Trust, Tamil Nadu, India. I am highly thankful to Professor Naveen Anand for sparing his valuable time and accepting our request to grace the occasion as chief guest. I'm sure that an immense amount of intellectual property has been generated during these 7 days of the FDP. Such academic conclaves are extremely important for both the scholars and the experts in this ever-expanding horizons of knowledge. I am extremely thankful to the organizers from Cape Cameron Trust, India, and from Government SPMR College of Commerce, duty of J&K, for successfully conducting this FDP. I am also thankful to the resource persons from India and across the globe and all the participants for making this FDP meaningful. Experiences and feedback shared by the participants will be of great value for us. I am thankful to the organizers. Thank you. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your gracious presence and enthusiastic support towards organizing such events. Now, it is our proud privilege to have with us Professor Naveen Anand, Dean Academic Affairs, Cluster University of Jammu, who is looked upon as an accomplished academician and an able administrator. Sir, I welcome you and I request you to kindly enlighten us with your kind words. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Charandeep. Today's speaker, Dr. Sheetal M. Randir, Head Department of BBA and Commerce, Chikaram Jagannath College, Pune, President, Cape Comorin Trust, Professor Surinder Sharma, Principal, Government SPMR College of Commerce, other resource persons from India and abroad, Convener, Organizing Secretary, distinguished faculty, scholars, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to be here with you all this evening. Let me at the onset congratulate Principal of the college, Dr. Surinder Kumar, and the team members on successful completion of 1 week international virtual faculty development program on research method, tools and techniques for multidisciplinary research design. Multidisciplinary research involves bringing of different researchers from different scientific disciplines to work collaboratively on a research problem. This type of research is becoming increasingly common as one of the most pressing problems that are being faced today. They require multidisciplinary approaches. There are various steps to this. For example, multidisciplinary research, it involves designing of a particular problem. As I was listening to the last lecture, bringing together the team members, having clear roles, bringing them to a common platform, training of the team members. In terms of research methods, there are several approaches that can be used in a multidisciplinary research. For example, I am a chemist. Dr. Surinder is also a chemist. We both are from chemistry. These days, a research project in chemistry cannot be done by a single person. It requires a lot of instrumental techniques to analyze the property of a material. Researchers, they might use chemical databases also to identify potential new compounds or reactions. Now, in a nutshell, we can say that it's not one man's job now. Let me talk a little about my university, that is Cluster University of Jammu. Ours is a quite young university, just 6 years old, with 5 of its constituent colleges. The university is gaining momentum. Our colleges, most of them are 50 years, 60 years old, and in the vicinity of SPMR, GGM Science College, that is more than 100 years old. They are very well established colleges and are imparting quality education. The colleges have received generous funding from state as well as from Government of India in the form of special packages, star colleges, FIST program, etc., etc. Faculty in all these colleges is well qualified and is fully equipped to carry out research activities. And many of our faculty members, they have received huge funding from the government, and we soon will starting a PhD program also. University has implemented National Education Policy 2020, and all of you are aware that research has become an important component for the students starting in undergraduate courses also. Our Vice Chancellor, in the meeting of the University Academic Council held last week, has urged the teachers to create an environment that encourages students to explore and experiment new innovative ideas. He also encouraged the principals and the heads of the various departments to create a platform for students to share their new thoughts, new ideas, and collaborate with fellow students in multidisciplinary areas. In conclusion, we can say that all the problems which we are going to face or we are facing today, it requires a multidisciplinary approach. By bringing together researchers from different scientific disciplines and using a variety of methods, tools, and techniques, multidisciplinary research can lead to innovative solutions and new insights. Now, about this week-long FTP involving experts from India and abroad, I, I, I am hopeful that this might have helped our teachers and will give a boost to their future research endeavors. I'm thankful for inviting me also and congratulate the principal along with the team, all the team, whole of the team on this successful completion of the program. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir, for sparing your valuable time and gracing this occasion. I'm sure, sir, time is not far to create such platforms for students to explore new innovative ideas under your mentorship. Thank you, sir. Now I request and invite Dr. Jagmeet for report presentation.
Thank you, Professor Chan, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Pooja, convener of the program, for giving me the opportunity to present the report of 1 week virtual international faculty development program. It is a matter of honor for the entire team that today we have entered into concluding session of the international FTP. For this, I congratulate the entire team and the participants. Without further delay, let me recapitulate all the activities. A 7-day international online virtual faculty development program organized by Research and Development Cell of Government SPMR College of Commerce in collaboration with Cape Comorin Trust on the topic Research Methods, Tools and Technique for Multidisciplinary Research Design started on February 20, 2023. The FTP began with the inaugural address by Professor Deepshika Sharma, Organizing Secretary of the program, and formal welcome address by Dr. Pooja, convener of the program. Dr. Surendra Kumar, principal of the college, on this occasion said that modern society demands high-quality teaching. In order to meet such demand, this FTP is one step ahead to accomplish that task. The first technical session of day 1 of the FDP was initiated by Mr. Von Erich, who is an international motivational popular speaker from Alberta, Canada. Key points discussed in this session were importance of giving and receiving feedback in research. Through his presentation, he talked about feedback. He pointed out various types of feedback and insisted to take feedback positively in order to research quality. Second session of day 1 was conducted by Dr. B. Spurti. She highlighted the importance of framing good research question, topic selection for research, and formulation of suitable hypotheses. The proceedings of day 1 was convened by Dr. Faiza and Professor Harpreet Kaur. The second day started with the lecture of Dr. Frolen D. Mobo, Associate Professor and Assistant Director, Department of Research, Development and Extension, Philippines. His talk was based on writing and publishing articles in a reputed journals, particularly Scopus and Web of Science Index Journal. The next lecture was given by Dr. Subagora, Associate Professor in KL University, Hyderabad. She discussed about the modern language association style, that is MLA style. She explained in detail about how to format a paper in text citation and document sources in MLA style. The proceedings of day 2 were carried out by Dr. Jagmeet and Dr. Rajneesh. Dr. Nada Ratkovic, Assistant Professor in the Faculty of Economics, Business and Tourism, University of Croatia, gave her presentation on methods of research in day 3 of the 7-day faculty development program. She talked in detail about difference between qualitative and quantitative research. Dr. Tapsi Nagpal, Associate Professor, Computer Science and Information Technology at Lingyas Vidyapith, Faridabad, was the resource person of Technical Session 2. She gave presentation on thesis writing and its effective planning. The moderators of Day 3 were Dr. Deepak Patania and Professor Charandeep Handa. Day 4 started with the presentation of Mr. Faisal Fayaz, who is an educator. His presentation was on the citations. He highlighted on the importance of citation in the field of research and emphasized upon the various styles of citations like Blue Book, ALWD, etc. On day 4, in next session on planning and development of thesis writing was discussed by Dr. Ruchi Raj Thakur. The entire proceeding of day 4 were conducted by Dr. Faiza and Professor Rajni Bala. On day 5, Dr. Iman Abdul Samia Ali Hussain Alam talked in detail about how to conduct good research, the characteristics of good research design, formulation of hypotheses, and sampling techniques. Dr. Amrinder Kaur, Associate Professor in Department of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, Manav Rachana International Institute of Research Studies, Faridabad, in technical session of day 5, talked in detail about various plagiarism tools and grammar check tools available online for researchers. The moderator of day 5 were Professor Harpreet Kaur and Dr. Vaishali. Day 6 of the 7 days FDP started with the lecture of Mr. Utkarsh Mishra, Assistant Professor of Law at DNLU. He talked about significance of data collection in research, various tools of data collection, difference between primary and secondary data, need for collecting right kind of data, and so on. Dr. Pratik Ranjan, scientist, professor, and an international speaker, discussed in detail about qualitative research methods along with their advantages in the next session of day 6. The moderation of day 6 was done by Dr. Faiza and Dr. Jagmeet Kaur. The first technical session of last day, which is the 7th day of the faculty development program, started with the lecture of Professor Elisa Dukt Aryan. Her talk was based on thesis writing. She discussed in detail the structure of thesis writing. Dr. Shekhar M. Randir, Head of Bachelor of Business Administration Department at Tikaram Jagannath Arts, Commerce and Science College, Khadki, was the resource person of technical session 2 of day 7. She emphasized on the selection of right and original research topic, which must give contribution towards the sustainable economic growth of the country. To conclude, in total, there were 14 technical sessions, and each session was followed by question and answer, and all the queries of the participants were responded by the resource person of the technical session very efficiently. Thank you. Over to you, Chairman.
Thank you, Dr. Jagmeet, for very well highlighting the key aspects of the FDP. Now, I request Professor Deepshikha, Organizing Secretary of the FDP, to accord formal vote of thanks. Ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Charandeep. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I, Deepshikha Sharma, Organizing Secretary of this 7 days International Faculty Development Program on Research Methods, Tools and Techniques for Multidisciplinary Research Design, organized by Government SPMR College of Commerce Research and Development Cell in collaboration with Cape Comorin Trust, Tamil Nadu, India, takes this opportunity to put all my gratitude into words. I would like to thank our chief guest of the valedictory program, Professor Naveen Anand, Dean Academic Affairs, Cluster University of Jammu, for taking his precious time out and consenting to be the chief guest of this valedictory program. Sir, indeed, your presence, gracious presence rather I can say, and words have inspired us, and this valedictory program would not have been the same without your presence. Thank you, sir. Words are not enough to express sincere gratitude to our respected principal sir, who is guest of honor, who graced us with his presence and guidance. Thank you, sir, for sharing with us your words of wisdom. You have been a constant support and have given us a lot of encouragement. Thank you, sir. An event of dimension cannot happen overnight. The wheels started rolling months in advance. Hence, I would also like to take this moment to thank Dr. Regin Silvest, President, and his team, Cape Cameron Trust India, for his invaluable support, ensuring the availability of various resource persons from India and abroad, and providing all kind of help to us. I would particularly thank Dr. Pooja, convener of this FTP, for her outstanding work. I want to express my sincere appreciation for her advanced planning, which made this program a grand success. Thanks are due to our resource persons from India and abroad, who, in spite of their busy schedule, shared their expertise in their respective fields with us. I hope this FTP proved to be an eye-opening session for beginner and middle-level researchers and for others also. I would also like to express my sincere appreciation for participants from India and abroad for their active participation and frank discussions, which I think have made this FTP a fruitful one. I would like to thank the organizing team and moderators of this FTP, Dr. Pooja, Dr. Jagmeet, Dr. Faiza, Professor Charandeep Handa, Professor Rajni Bala, Dr. Deepak Patania, Professor Harpreet Kaur, Dr. Vishali, and Dr. Rajneesh Karlupia for not only organizing and planning this program, but also executed everything with so much of passion and zeal. You guys owe majority of the success of this event. Last but not the least, I want to thank everyone, media, print media, electronic media, everyone who directly and indirectly coordinated in this program. Thank you. Good luck, everyone. And now kindly switch on your camera for a group photograph. Everyone, please switch on your cameras. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, Dr. Charandeep.
Thank you, Deepshika ma'am. Now, if any participant want to speak anything regarding the FTP, any feedback or like any suggestion, please feel free to share the same. Your opinion values a lot.